We're live.
Look at that.
Doing it live.
Hooray.
Doing it live. Hello and welcome to episode number 9.
There you go. You got it.
One of those. Hello and welcome to episode 908 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir?
Pretty good, except I've got a child hanging off camera here waiting to say something to me, so please carry on.
Oh,
Okay. Well, joining me from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil Theobald.
well, I'm just curious now what Greg's kid has to say.
I know.
Is this something you can share with the rest of the class?
It's pretty late there, right?
I don't know. I don't understand time zones.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
How's it going?
It's going great. Fabulous.
That doesn't sound fabulous.
It's good to be back here.
Is it?
On the podcast. I missed last week.
You were in
didn't
Portland.
burn it all down. What?
You were in Portland, right?
I was during the recording of the show. I was in Portland. That's correct.
Okay. Watching a comedy show.
One of them comedy shows. Yeah, we went. I think we talked about this back in January because I was originally supposed to go to Portland to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler,
right,
in their comedy tour.
Right.
But there was snow on the ground, and
a lot of snow.
A lot of snow. Yeah,
you make it sound like there was not much snow.
And the city was like shut down.
It was a dangerous amount of snow.
A dangerous amount of snow.
Yes.
Yeah. And in the Pacific Northwest, cities don't really have the infrastructure to deal with even a tiny amount of snow.
Right.
Right. So it's not a thing here. So that show got postponed.
Right.
Which was good because we wouldn't have driven down there. We weren't about to drive down there for that. And so the new date was last Sunday at 6:00, right during the meaty part of the podcast. So I couldn't attend last
But was it
week.
worth it?
It was totally worth it. It was really, really
I
good.
see.
And they had a rule, no cell phones. You couldn't take out your cell phone during the performance. I think Greg asked me a question and I took out my cell phone and my wife is like, no, don't do that. They're like patrolling the aisles.
Did Amy Poehler yell at you?
No, but they had security like patrolling the aisles for people who had their cell phones out. So
and you said, no. You don't understand. I'm just trying to bootleg the show.
That's right. Yeah. But it was really a great show. And had a lot of fun at that. And then the night before, we were up in Seattle because Fortune Feemster, who is also a stand-up comedian, was taping a Netflix special in Seattle. And so we went to the Netflix special taping.
Cool.
So you may see me on Netflix. I'm pretty towards the front.
I'll be the guy with my cell phone.
I'm pretty.
What CJ is trying to say is you may see me messaging CJ. On Netflix.
Possible. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. But you might see me sitting there on the aisle, and then my wife and daughter they got better seats than I did.
Because they didn't sit with you.
When we bought tickets, there were only 2 seats up in front, and then 1 seat.
Did they originally buy their tickets for themselves? Yes, and then they were like,
wow, you literally ran the whole which parent do you love more experiment. It's good.
I guess we did. And the answer's clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun. Watch for that on Netflix. Soon.
You're plugging this like you're making money off of it.
Yeah, really.
I'm not.
No. CJ only plugs things that he refuses payment for, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Exactly. It was super interesting to see how they tape a Netflix comedy special. And so afterwards, they did pickups where they had like a closer camera on the stage where they had her do some of the some of the bits
Like,
again.
tell the
So
same jokes again.
parts of the same jokes. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
See, now that is really interesting
Which is
because
interesting.
I'd often wondered about that. I wondered if they just would do like 2 tapings, like 2
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
right? To grab those close-ups.
No.
So I didn't. That's interesting that they just do. I mean, that makes way more sense, obviously. Because I was actually watching. There's a new Jimmy Carr special out, and I was watching that. And every now and then, they would have it. They clearly had a camera guy, like doing a semicircle
Walking
around his
around.
face
Yes, exactly.
during the delivery of some of the jokes. And it's like, well, he's clearly, because the way Jimmy Carr's special or a stand-up usually goes is he's on a big stage, he never moves, his feet are planted. So it's like you would know if there was another person on the stage, which
right.
would be very distracting for a whole show. So yeah, that's interesting.
They did the pickups afterwards, and that was it
Cool.
was about 20 minutes of listening to
The jokes you just heard an hour ago.
alternate takes, and the jokes we just heard.
That's really funny.
And we'd seen Fortune about 6 months ago in Seattle as well, or maybe it was longer than that. Maybe it was like 8 months ago in we saw her in Portland. I'm sorry. And it was the same set, but some of the punchlines and the setups were tweaked.
Mhm.
It was
As
very interesting
comedians
to
will
watch.
do.
It's like the evolution of this set and how things changed from what we saw 8 months ago to now, and she's taping her special. There was an evolution there.
I went and saw Tom Segura in Halifax last year, I think. And the set he did was the set that was the basis for the most recent special that came out. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's like, well, I remember these jokes, but they're not quite the same as they were.
Not quite the
They've
same.
clearly evolved. Halifax
Yeah.
is the venue, one of the venues you use to test and tweak your material, not to do your Netflix special.
Not to take your Netflix special. Yeah. But it was super interesting. It was a great night, great fun. Originally, I was not on the aisle, but the people who had the seats next to me didn't show up, so I just moved over. And
Yeah, baby.
they were filling people in. They were bringing people from the back up front.
Oh.
And I was like, well, if they're going to bring somebody from the back who didn't pay as much for these tickets as we did, I'm moving to the good seat before somebody gets moved up here. So
CJ tried to start a rumble.
Yeah.
Sir, could you move? No. Show me your tickets to no.
Well, my wife had our tickets too, so if I had been challenged on it,
if you can find her, you can see the ticket.
That's right. She's over there somewhere.
I don't know where
closer
she
to the
is.
stage. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. So, thank you for figuring out how to do the podcast without me.
It took a little effort.
I think it was a pretty decent show overall.
It worked.
Some people didn't agree.
It worked.
Those people are the worst.
Agreed.
I thought it was good. I
really feel like Phil and I connected.
Yeah,
even more so.
Yeah,
than usual.
We've connected physically before, but last week I feel like we've connected emotionally.
The connection is made.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah.
I just got a text. And I'm trying to determine if this is some sort of a scam.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it is.
Of course
it says
scam.
There are two texts.
Okay.
The first one says, "Hello, hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri, send a text."
Yeah.
Oh, now she thinks I want to.
That's probably the point.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're reading it aloud.
And then it says, "Hey Michelle, I don't know what's going on, but either or some reason."
Yeah. Yeah, those are all scams.
I love that the scams are being written by AI now.
Those are scams.
Delete and report junk. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate the internet.
The internet's bad, just in general. All right. Well, hey, should we talk about some video games?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. You were talking about that their Star Wars Outlaws last week.
We were.
the
Yep.
story trailer, which, by the way, that story trailer looked great.
I agree.
I'm officially
excited
for that game. I don't know. I was surprised to hear you, Phil, say that you were only getting the $110 edition and not the $130
CJ,
Ultimate Edition. There is an edition up above the one that you said you got with the Steelbook.
your stance on this pisses me off.
What do you mean?
Even that. Stance? He's only getting the $100 version.
Yeah.
I mean, you call yourself a Star Wars fan, Phil. You're clearly wearing a Star Wars
I am wearing a Star Wars shirt
now, and yet you only got the $110 version of the Ubisoft classic to be
there it is.
Wars Outlaws.
Are you
what?
I think someone's applied for a new job
about to happen or something.
Yeah.
You're very pro Ubisoft this past week or so.
Yeah.
No.
It would have been so great if the can you picked up had Ubisoft written across the side of it, but
that would have been. That would have been my physical copy of Skull and Bones.
There you go.
No, I don't have a physical copy of it.
Are you just trying to get on a list?
I think he is. That's what it is. He hasn't ordered the $100 version either because he's getting the really expensive one for free.
Yeah.
No. In the last 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't have any plans to do that. I am going to get Star Wars.
Well, can I get it for free?
Well, I'm not going to get it for free. I'm probably
ask your contact if they can get me a free copy too.
You know what the best part about working doing Gaming Age back in the 90s was that I was the only Canadian editor. So when we were getting on distribution lists and things, the people that were distributing press copies in Canada were different than the people distributing in the US.
Oh,
yeah.
So I got a lot of those, got on a lot of those lists
that
other people were on. Anyway, continue.
Nice. Anyway, so yeah, there was some backlash about the premium editions of Star Wars Outlaws because it includes an exclusive mission, a Jabba the Hutt mission on day one. And Ubisoft had to clarify that, you'll have missions with Jabba the Hutt in the game. It's kind of a main part of the story, but just this particular mission, which I assume is probably just based on other Ubisoft season passes or ultimate editions. I assume it's very short and probably not very good.
I can't tell if CJ's defending this or
previous pre-order missions that Ubisoft likes to do, but people got up in arms because they thought that was the only way they were going to interact with Jabba is to get Jabba. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Jabba the Hutt.
I'm doing a callback to Greg pronouncing Jabba,
pronouncing the made-up word however the hell I want to. Yes.
Yeah,
all words are made up, Greg.
It's true.
But anyway, they had to put out
the way I want.
They had to put out a statement that Jabba the Hutt and the Hutt Cartel is a main faction in Star Wars Outlaws. So you'll be able to interact with Jabba plenty. It's just this one mission.
Don't worry, Jabba fans.
Part of the season pass, and then you get it on day one if you pre-order one of the more expensive editions. So Greg, you were very perturbed about this mission.
I am, but that's the thing. You know what? I think that the problem with this whole story is that we're focusing on this mission. And yes, I get that was what people reacted strongly to, is that there was a Jabba mission that they weren't necessarily going to have access to, and that they were worried that the Jabba and the Hutt Cartel stuff was going to be locked behind a paywall. So, I mean, it is important to hear that that's not the case, because you don't want that to be a thing.
No.
However, I don't understand the acceptance of this. I mean, this has been I don't know. Clearly the content is available right at launch. I want to say clearly it'll be on the disc, but we all know that's bullshit because half the stuff's not going to be on the disc anyway.
No. Is anything going to even be on the on the disc
besides the key to download the game?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I don't know. We're sitting here talking about the $100 version is the middle version.
Yeah.
And but at least, you know, the only Jabba mission that they've locked behind a paywall, there's only one Jabba mission that they've locked behind a paywall. That's not really the point. That's not really the thing that bothers me about all this. I don't care which missions they are that are locked behind a paywall.
Yeah.
I just hate that I'm expected to pay full price. And on day one, there's stuff that I need to spend more money on. That's crazy to me. Games are so expensive now that it just, and
not need to spend more money on.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, you know, if it was only cosmetics, maybe that would be better. But game content, other like outside of just cosmetic content, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
Never have
AAA
been.
games, they're very expensive to make.
I don't care. Make them less expensive. Make them smaller. Release DLC later. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Ubisoft does that too. No. Ubisoft has you covered on that as
I know, well. and I honestly don't mind that, because I mean that's been happening for decades as well, and you know, I don't mind extra content down the road. And you know what? If it is ready at launch, lie to me. Release that content months from now and charge for it. Just don't. I just hate
on day one. Lie to me.
Yes, absolutely. Because I have such an issue with forking over. Like, you guys are saying $100. You realize in Canada that means it's like 130,
right?
Plus tax.
So your games are already
approaching 150, and then you're telling me that even though I've just given you almost $150, your hand's out for more right now.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. I will never be okay with that. So yeah, it's great that it's only one Jabba mission. That is important to know. And I do realize that people got upset about why people got upset about that, but the practice in general is gross. And I'm just over it. It makes me, for as much as I like that story trailer, as we talked about last week, the game looks really good, and I do want to play it. It makes me less inclined to play it. Just saying.
But you're probably going to play it.
I don't know. I haven't played a Star Wars game in a long time.
Yeah, but this one looks good.
It does look good, but like I said, I mean, I need to go tally up. I don't know how much. What's the best edition of this game?
The Ultimate Edition is the best, of course.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go see what the price is in Canada. Carry on.
Okay.
I'll be back to bitch about something in a minute.
What's the so what does this Ultimate Edition have?
I don't know.
I mean, it's got everything. I think that if you get the Ultimate Edition, you get everything that's available on day one. Maybe.
Okay.
Right? I don't know.
Probably. Plus you get 3-day early access.
Yeah. $170.
Ooh. Where do you buy that from?
That's just buying it online on Xbox Live.
Okay. Because I'm looking just like for the physical editions, and Amazon only has the quote unquote limited edition, which seems to be the base game. Because that's the $70 one.
On the screen.
Here we go. So the base game, plus you get a pre-order bonus for the standard edition, the cosmetic pack for your speeder, a cosmetic for your Trailblazer spaceship. That's the normal edition. The gold edition gives you 3 days early access plus the season pass, which has that Jabba mission available at launch, and then the Kessel Run character pack. So you get additional cosmetics.
Is that the one I bought?
Yes, this is the one that you bought.
Okay.
And then there is an Ultimate Edition, which has extra stuff and additional.
I think I think these might be digital only.
It's possible. It's quite possible.
Yes.
Either way, after tax, if I wanted to buy that Ultimate Edition up here, to be $195.
But what does that come with? That comes with a digital art book.
Yeah.
And a couple cosmetic things.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That you probably won't use anyway, right?
Well, I believe some of the cosmetic things that this comes with, it's just like it gives your character like Han Solo inspired gear.
Yeah.
You know, you have like it looks like you're wearing like a Han Solo vest or something, which I don't want that. I don't want to play this new game as someone who is a Han Solo cosplayer.
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole new character.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whatever.
I'm just saying. My only point was that that's great that it's only one Java mission, but I'm not down with. I'm not down with this, and it's not just Ubisoft. It's just that this happens to be the game we're talking about right now.
This is the state of.
I
AAA
get the
in
games are
2024.
expensive. I get all that, but Jesus Christ, like $200?
Yeah.
Come on, please.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like any of that stuff is that desirable. Like,
Not desirable at $200. I'll tell you that.
No.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that my
I assume you get other cosmetics
disgust
in the
for
game
all
anyway.
this. Yeah, my disgust for all this makes the game itself less desirable to me. I'm clearly in the minority. Fine, but
Well, it's Ubisoft. What do you?
yeah, I hate shrugging it
What do you
away. It's Ubisoft. Well, okay, great. That doesn't make it better, but
yeah,
like you said in our chat, they got to pay for Skull and Bones somehow, I guess. So
I said, yeah, they gotta pay for the flop that is Skull and Bones.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, you were supposed to support it.
I did.
They were
I
counting
did
on
support
you.
it. I supported it.
But they were counting on you to come on here and sell it to everyone else.
I'm not going to do that. All right. Well, hey, Nintendo had an Indie World showcase and showed off some interesting indie games like Little Kitty Big City,
That looks really cute.
Europa. I played the demo of that. They showed off the TMNT Splintered Fate Switch port.
I love that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is an indie game.
Yeah,
Let's
really.
Continue. I just thought when I was watching that showcase, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, that little known property, Teenage
It was an
Mutant
indie
Ninja
comic.
Turtles.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
That's
developed
true.
by Super Evil Mega
40
Corp.
years ago.
They're an indie developer, indie game developer.
No, I know.
So,
I know. But it was just funny
how
to
that
see a
works.
license that big.
yeah. We got SteamWorld Heist 2. Which, okay, I guess it's not the SteamWorld sequel that I really want, but
Where's my SteamWorld Dig 3?
That's what I want. Yeah. Cat Quest 3, which they had a demo of, and I downloaded it. Yars Rising from Way Forward and Atari.
That was weird.
Yeah, can we talk about this?
It looks
for a
good.
second?
Okay.
I don't think it looks good. I think
Really?
it looks good in stills and in the animations that are not at all gameplay footage. It looked fine.
Okay.
When they showed gameplay footage, I don't know if this is just a Switch thing or what, but it looked very framey and slow and not very good.
Were you
And
watching it on
very
your phone during the comedy show? What was the Wi-Fi like in that auditorium?
No. The Indie World Showcase was on a weekday, and I was watching it on my computer.
Oh, they don't have comedy shows on weekdays?
No.
No, they don't.
That's an old
Greg.
prohibition law. They can't do that.
Not in the US of A.
It riles up the spirits.
We don't laugh on weekdays. It's
Yeah.
the thing. That's why we record this on the weekend, clearly. But I just didn't think it looked that good. It kind of reminded me of the Contra Operation Galuga stuff footage that we saw also on Switch that didn't look very good either. And then I played the demo on PlayStation and it was fine.
Do we know if that animation was better on Switch when the game came out?
No, it was not.
It was not. Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. If I do pick up Yars, I'm not going to be getting it on Switch. So
yeah,
hopefully it'll be better on.
I don't know
I
that
like
I'll
the
get it, though.
concept. I like the idea.
I thought the concept was great. I was like, yes, this looks interesting. I'm interested. And then they showed the gameplay, and I was like, no.
Were you guys big Yar? I think Phil. I feel like you played a lot of Yars Revenge.
I played a lot of Yars Revenge on the old 2600 back in the day.
I never played it until it started coming out on compilations.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I don't have any particular love for it. I love the story behind it more than the game itself. But I never really played too much of it. It's an interesting game to pick up as a Metroidvania, but
Yeah.
I do want to experience. I mean, it's Way Forward. I want to give it a shot mostly because it's Way Forward anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Way Forward, Metroidvania, those should be like winning things, just like Contra and Way Forward should have been a winning thing on the Switch, but
maybe we need a new
feel
Switch.
like it just wasn't
time.
performant enough.
Maybe it's time for a new Switch.
Aren't the rumors saying
the rumors are. Yeah.
Gotta wait till next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't need one now.
We do need one now. We needed one like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Let's see. Let's keep going down the list. So Sticky Business,
yeah.
It's a sticker business management game, not whatever you were thinking, Greg.
I'm sure I've seen the video before. Thought it was weird to be a Nintendo Indie Showcase, but whatever.
Oh. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes from Simogo. They're the Sayonara Wild Hearts folks. Yeah,
didn't have any opinion on that.
Nothing on that.
Sayonara Wild Hearts was a good game.
From Leica Studios. This is an iPhone. This is an Apple Arcade game that is coming over to Switch. It's a puzzle game
for Switch.
It's pretty. Yes. It's a pretty fun puzzle game. Anton Blast, which is like a WarioWare style.
Yeah, I remember when I saw
WarioWare on Wario Land.
Well,
that's the one that looks like a Pizza Tower, right?
It does, yeah.
It's the Pizza Tower knockoff.
I don't know if it's a knockoff, but yes.
Really?
Okay, it's a knockoff.
Yeah, that's
similar.
That game wouldn't exist if Pizza Tower didn't exist. Come on.
You might be right. Refined Self, which is a personality test game that kind of looked interesting. And Valley Peaks, which is a first-person rock climbing platformer.
That looks interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it looks interesting enough that I want to play it, but it does look neat. No.
Then Animal Well, Shim, Duck Detective, The Secret Salami, Buzzed, and Another Crab's Treasure. Which I'm excited about. Another Crab's Treasure. That's coming to Game Pass this week, so
Was it really?
I'll play it on Xbox. But
okay,
yeah, excited about that. That is from the team that did Going Under. If you remember that game, the roguelike game. I do
not.
Anyway, this is a Souls-like style game, but it's cartoony and it has a lot of fun accessibility features to make it easier to play. So, yeah. And that was the Indie World showcase. So I downloaded a couple of demos after the show, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
All right.
You guys mentioned the Fallout Amazon Prime show a little bit last week. Have you guys watched any of it?
I've watched. We finished episode 4 tonight.
Oh, okay.
I think that's. Is that the one? I think that's the one I finished last night as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, I only finished the first episode.
Oh. Well, you've got.
It's a good show.
It is a really good.
More.
Yeah,
and it's only like 8 episodes, right?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but hey, that first episode was really good. So
I guess slight spoiler warning, but I really was happy to see it. I think it was in episode 3 at one point, and I'm going to get the name of the actual item wrong, but at one point, one of the techs in Vault 33 comes out and says that the water chip is busted, which I loved. I like jumped up in my seat when it happened, and my son was like, "What do you know?" My son plays Fallout, but he hasn't played the original games. He plays the Bethesda games. But the very first Fallout, the whole reason you leave Vault 13 is because the water purification chip is busted. So it was just a really nice reference to the very first game in like 97 or whenever that came out. So I was just, and I don't even know, they have a conversation about it, and then it hasn't come up again since then. But just the fact that the guy came out and said it is like, oh, that's a reference. That's a Fallout reference. That's a reference to the original game.
He said the thing from the game.
He said the thing from the game. Down Route 108. No.
Well,
but no, I'm really loving the series.
It'll come as no surprise then that the Fallout games are experiencing a bit of a resurgence.
Yeah.
And Fallout 76, in fact, has beaten its all-time concurrent player count.
I was hanging out with your best friend Mike last night, and we were talking about how you talked him into buying an Xbox to play Fallout 76.
I sure did. And it's a good game.
That
Fallout 76 is a good video game.
It is now, right? Apparently,
it is now.
It was a lot of the issues.
I thought it was fine back then too.
Yeah, well, Amazon, what you're like.
They have added a lot. They have added a lot to it, and
I'm
made it better.
One of the reasons that Fallout 76 has seen such an uptick is because Amazon is giving it away for free.
And there's that too.
Are they?
They're talking about the Steam, specifically the Steam.
Okay.
Is doing well.
Does that run on? What is it not the Steam version you get for free from Amazon?
I don't think so.
Oh, they're actually
either get the Bethesda.net launcher version, or Amazon actually has their own launcher.
Oh, I knew that
because of the Prime games, right?
So I forgot, but I did know that.
Yeah.
I have to say, not really related, but it's just because obviously this is a Prime show. Watching it on Prime, I don't know if this is happening to you guys, but at least 3 of the 4 episodes I've watched so far have started with a message saying that this episode is brought to you commercial free, thanks to this company.
This ad.
Yeah, thanks to this company that just paid for the 2 ads you're about to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but doesn't commercial free means there are no commercials?
Yeah, no. Make no mistake, each time that happens, I have glared at my screen, and I'm just like, this is why people pirate shit.
Exactly. The first time that happened to us when we were watching a Prime show, it didn't go that way. There was an ad right at the beginning. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I knew it was coming, but I hadn't experienced it yet. And then about 5 minutes into whatever it was we were watching, it just broke. It was like watching something on like Tubi.
Or TV does this too.
They just insert a random commercial, and I was like, oh, I'm not crazy about this, but now I just love the messaging is like, this brought to you commercial free by Zip something or Zippo something, or I don't know. And it's like, but this is the first of the 2 commercials you're going to make me watch on this commercial free broadcast.
Ads, please enjoy our commercial free broadcasting.
Exactly. We're in this weird period
of paying for cable TV
services where we are paying for cable TV, but also where streaming services love making things less intuitive to promote their own whatever programming they actually want you to watch. So I don't know if you've noticed this, in like every streaming app has changed the location of your continue watching playlist further and further down. So you have to scroll through whatever the trending or new.
We're all figuring out that us introverts are way more comfortable watching the full run of Seinfeld for the 100th time than we are trying something new.
Yeah. Although I'm sure it works. That's why they do it. It works. It's like making your app less intuitive, but you get higher engagement.
Well, I mean, they're taking a cue from Microsoft and Sony and their game consoles. So,
how do you mean?
The storefronts on both of those consoles are terrible.
Oh, well, that is definitely true.
Yeah,
and they've just gotten worse over time.
They really have. Yeah. I don't think anybody has a good digital store at this point.
No.
I know a lot of people crap on the eShop. The eShop is terrible, but
they're all
eShop's
bad.
biggest problem is the performance, I find.
It is.
It's so slow.
It's very slow.
Anyway, I don't want to sit here and crap about that stuff, but I just the commercial thing makes me I've gone from being angry about it just to laugh about it at this point.
Yeah. Well, you will also be laughing at another show in the future. The Golden Axe IP has been is being turned
famed
into
comedy video game series Golden Axe.
Yeah, Comedy Central has announced an animated Golden Axe show.
I mean, there's Monkey Island, and then there's Golden Axe, and they're right.
I know. When you think of comedy video game content, your mind just goes right to Golden Axe.
Right to Golden Axe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But reading the the news of this, it's from the team that did Star Trek Lower Decks.
Yep.
It's got a good team and a good cast,
which is a
So
very
it-
good show.
Yep.
Might actually be decent.
Oh, I think there's a really good chance it'll be fun. I just think it's really hilarious that Comedy Central is doing a Golden Axe show, but I
know.
you know what? I'm all for it. I mean,
Sure.
they're clearly trying to strike while the iron is hot. Video game shows and movies are popular right now. Sega hit really big with Sonic, and I mean, in that article you linked, they're also talking about how they'd love to do something with Persona and Yakuza.
Wait, is a comedy show?
No, just in general. Just although
'Cause
I
that
would
doesn't
love.
make
Oh
any
man,
sense.
if the next thing we see is that Comedy Central's doing an animated show based on Persona.
Oh, those
Seth
teens!
MacFarlane's Yakuza.
Those teens shooting themselves in the head with the spirit guns. That's what you want to see. It's a laugh riot. There.
Love it. I love it.
Ugh.
Yeah. But anyway, Golden Axe coming to Comedy Central near you. Yeah.
It has. It looks like it. I mean, again, based on the writers and the cast, it looks like it should be really good.
I agree. It could be fun. At first, at the headline, I rolled my eyes, and then I thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, this could actually be good." So that's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Retro game fans rejoice because the Epics collection is coming out this week and bringing 5 Atari Lynx games to your Nintendo Switch, and those are Blue Lightning, California Games, Electro Cop, Gates of Zendikon, Todd's Adventures in Slime World, and Zarlar Mercenary, which I have no idea what that game is. I know the other 5.
Zarlar Mercenary was, I think it was a launch game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a
Was it?
like a top-down shooter kind of thing.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, these 6 games are coming to your Nintendo Switch in the Epics collection. Yeah. I like Blue Lightning.
I'm glad it's happening.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing on that list that makes me go, "Oh, I really want to own this collection."
Right,
But to be
the
fair, there's
collection's
very
pretty
little on
cheap,
the.
isn't it?
There's
Like
very
12
little on
bucks?
the. Yeah, there's very little on the links that makes me say I want to own this collection. The links is more of a. I like playing those games mostly to see, just to experience them, because I've never really experienced most of them. Because I owned a Lynx used for years. I only ever had 2 games for the thing. One of them was Viking Child, which is as good as it sounds, and one was Clax, which I played a lot of. I love Clax.
Well, sure.
But yeah,
Right up
more
until
of an oddity.
January 1st, 2000.
Right, and then there was no
At
more
which
time
point,
for it. I just
throw it
couldn't
away.
make time for
More
Clax.
time.
Yep.
So, but I mean, it's cool. I do like seeing that, something other than your standard Game Boy compilations or Game Gear compilations, or as far as handhelds go, it's good to see Link stuff getting out there in the wild now. It's nice.
Yeah.
And 6 games for $12. That's not.
That's
not bad.
That's a throwaway price. That's true. I would actually consider grabbing it for that.
Was it Victor Lucas who said put Todd's Adventures in Slime World on the Switch on this very show? I think we were talking about that.
I think he did.
Or was it Chips Challenge?
I think it was Chips Challenge. People like Chips Challenge.
But I think that actually already is on the Switch.
Is it?
I think so.
Todd's Adventures in Slime World is on the Genesis.
Yeah, Chips Challenge is on the Switch.
Yeah.
So he got his wish.
There you go.
Anyway.
He got his chips.
Mm-hmm. And I could use some chips right now.
What kind of chips?
Dill pickle.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, to wrap up this action-packed news section here, Sea of Thieves.
Never heard of it.
Announced this past week that they have had 40 million players since
is that new PlayStation game?
It is, in fact, a PlayStation game coming up here in the next week or two.
Man, Microsoft's really struggling. They should probably get something like that on their system.
40 million players, and they have not yet launched on PlayStation. But
Sea of Thieves is a good game.
It's good. It is a really good game. It has an under 70 on Metacritic, but it's a
Really?
great game. Yes.
Wow.
But it is a really good game, and that's another example, like Fallout 76, of a game that maybe didn't get a great critical reception at launch, but has iterated and added.
Thieves
more
wasn't a broken
things.
mess when it came out. It was
No,
fine.
it wasn't.
It was good.
It was good. I liked it back then, but a lot of people didn't. Yeah.
I still remember seeing the first teaser trailer for Sea of Thieves and saying, wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
And then playing it for like all of 4 hours and never touching it again. But
I remember my reaction to it. I think I said this on the podcast. What the hell do you do in this game?
And I'm still asking myself that.
And like 3,500 hours later,
Jesus.
I know what you do in the game. You spend a lot of time cashing in loot. It's what you do. Anyway, that is what I've been playing.
Nope.
No, it's
That was
not.
the news.
That was not what I've been playing. See,
and everyone was making fun of my hosting last week.
See, I take a week off and I forget everything. I've forgotten it all. We should get into what you've been playing.
Tweet.
I
think we should get
tweet song
last
week.
Since they're not really tweets anymore, I think we should get Phil to sing like X gonna give it to you or something like that.
I already did that before. We did that bit already.
We've done that bit,
but it should be a thing now.
Oh,
why do we do tweets? They're not tweets.
Yeah,
just saying.
Sure they are.
You're gonna make Elon cry.
Way to bring
damn right, and I'll do it again.
Oh wait, now I get it. Never mind.
Because I am right, so I gots to win.
Aha. Yes. Thumbs up.
You wanted that.
I know.
You asked for that.
I gave you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the laugh. I was giving our listeners a chance to get their laugh out.
I see.
Without missing anything.
That's good.
I got you. You're doing that
comedy.
Little pause beat there.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, let's do that again. Take 2.
I'm not.
Damn right, and I'll do.
All right, let's get into what you've been playing.
Well, before we do that,
oh my goodness,
listener Micah had offered.
Wait, is this a tweet?
Kindly, no. Very kindly, he offered up a code since we had been talking about the IHOP Sonic stuff so much.
Oh, I could use that.
Before, he says that he had a code for the retro Amy costume that he would like to give away to a listener.
The IHOP exclusive.
IHOP exclusive. So yeah, if you are a listener in North America, because I believe it's limited only to.
Does it actually work in Canada?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it does, to be honest.
I think US accounts only, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, if
Micah in the chat now saying drowning in pan coins. How much?
I don't even know what that means.
What are pan coins?
What that means.
Well, that's the little currency that you collect at IHOP through the app that you then redeem for these codes and other bonuses.
Amy costume.
How much do you eat at IHOP? That's look, I'm not a healthy guy.
Listen, I'll tell you what. If I lived close enough to IHOP, I'd eat there all the time.
Okay.
So my idea here. My idea here is for anyone who is interested in winning this code, and it can be for Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation. You have to.
You get to choose
in the US. You get to choose what system.
Oh my goodness!
Want this for? It's not available on Steam. Just the consoles.
Right.
But so my idea, and I had pitched this to you guys before I was out. But we should have our listeners basically try to use AI to create some kind of story or image about Sonic and Sonic's love for pancakes. And I think that was poo-pooed by YouTube, but I think we're going to go ahead with that anyway because last week you didn't come up with anything else. So we're going to do that. And basically, yeah, if you want to make AI write a fun fan fiction about Sonic and pancakes, as long as
Wait,
it's like between 100 and 200 words,
wait.
not too long.
So now it's a fan
Or-
fiction and not a picture?
Or if you want to use AI to make a picture of Sonic and his love for pancakes, you can
This
do
is
that as
all
well.
over the place.
This is all over the place, but basically, yeah, throw it into the P1 what channel is it? P1 episodes channel on our Discord, and then we will select the winner. Yeah, you can make
Is this going to be a random drawing?
No, we're just going to enjoy the AI stuff and we'll choose the best.
We're going to choose the best somehow?
So yeah, listeners out there who want this code, you have to really work on your prompt engineering in terms of, telling ChatGPT or whatever AI art thing you want to make something real good.
Okay.
So that it tickles our funny bones, or it can be erotica, sure. Yeah. Phil's into it. Anyway, so yeah,
what?
do that and then P1 episodes on our Discord and we'll choose from there. And you can get a retro Amy code. How about that? All right, now
wonderful.
we can go into what you've been playing.
You're first.
I don't have a song for that.
Okay. I'll go first.
What you been playing? Let's find out what they've got. What you been playing?
I don't like this song. Yeah, you got
wow.
Maybe you should get AI to write you a song.
The worst improv partner around.
That's right. All right. I have been playing a whole bunch of Yakuza Like a Dragon. No surprise there, I suppose. I'm only on chapter 13, however.
Oh.
Yeah. So since we last talked, I took a little bit of a break because I was playing too much Like a Dragon, as you guys commented last week. So I took a break, but I'm back at it, and I got to Sotenbori.
Oh, yeah.
And have been doing stuff in there. I did the 30 level shopping center that you mentioned that I should definitely
battle
do
tower.
That. The battle tower, yeah. Did
not
that
really a shopping center?
Well, yeah. When you go there, they're like, this is was a shopping center.
Yeah, but now it's a battle tower.
Now it's a battle tower.
Yeah. So
anyway, I did the 30 floors of that.
Congratulations.
Good Lord.
Yeah. 30 floors. Yeah.
They
at least give you a checkpoint every 5 floors so that you can leave and save and get more material from the convenience store. And cute cat. And yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I think I may have gotten, you talked about a boss fight that was sort of a difficulty spike at the end of chapter 12.
Yes.
Where really you're fighting 2 characters in the game.
Yes, you are.
It's quite a difficult battle. I lost the first time that I went up against them.
Oh, so did I. Don't worry.
Surprise there. And then I went back and leveled up, did some more stuff, did some side quests, and came back and I stocked up on all sorts of items so that I wouldn't be unprepared for the MP drain that happens during that fight. And I won second time through. So
congratulations.
Thank you very much. So yeah, between chapter 12 and 13, there's like basically a 45-minute cutscene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on.
The Hideo Kojima game now, or
well,
basically. I mean, that's how Yakuza works.
It is, yeah. So but I'm still enjoying the heck out of it, and
yes, indeed.
Getting towards the end. There's 15 chapters, and now I'm on chapter 13.
Excellent.
and still enjoying the heck out of it.
Good.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Wrecking Crew 98. You guys talked about this a little bit last week.
Mhm.
And yeah, Wrecking Crew 98, originally released on the Super Famicom as part of the Nintendo Power System, in a system of downloading games onto a flash cart at a
Was I
convenience store.
accurate with my description of it last week?
You were, yeah. You
Okay,
go to
good.
Lawson is the name of the convenience store chain.
Oh, was it Lawson? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yes. And I had Wrecking Crew 98 and really enjoyed it too. It was a really, really fun game. And I'm happy I'm able to play it again on the Switch. Very, very fun. And it is kind of a match 3. It is a color matching puzzle game. So not really related to the Wrecking Crew of old. The gameplay is quite different, but I enjoyed it. It is a very obscure Nintendo game, and I'm glad that they are not against putting those out on the US NSO. So yeah, just like I love Kirby Superstar Stacker, which is also out on NSO. Now they just have to put out Sute Hakun, and I'll have all of the games that I had on the Nintendo Power flashcards.
Which one is that?
It's a puzzle platforming game starring like a penguin looking bird. Yeah.
What's the name of it again?
Sute Hakun. SUTTEH
KKUN.
KKUN. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do not know this character.
It is a fun Nintendo game.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then I played some of the Sea of Thieves PS5 beta, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And really enjoyed it. It's kind of crazy to see PS5 button prompts on a game that you've been playing for 6 years on Xbox and are used to those
Would be weird.
Xbox prompts. But I was surprised at the level of support for some of the exclusive PS5 features that this has going on. I mean, obviously it's a Microsoft game, but they are actually putting thought into using the DualSense like more than a lot of other third-party games that we often get on PS5. Like using the harpoons with the L2 and R2 feels different than rowing in a rowboat. Using L2 and R2 feels different than shooting a cannon with L2 and R2. Like they really have, they are using the rumble features that are in the PlayStation controller that are not in the Xbox controller to great effect, I feel. They even use the controller speaker to do some fun little sound effect things. So very cool. And I will be playing it on PS5 going forward as soon as the regular release is out. So yeah. And I hope we have some new pirates on PS5. I know that we will. I played with a bunch of people who had never played it before and showed some folks the ropes of the game, and that was kind of fun to just play with completely new people. Yeah. Well, I sank a few people too. Yeah, of course, had to be done. But yeah,
it have to be done.
It did. If anybody wants to sail, you hop on the Discord and throw me a ping, and yeah, we'll get like some sailing together done in the next week or two. That'd be fun. Let's see. I also played Gigantic Rampage Edition. So Gigantic is a MOBA that was originally released back in it was announced in 2015 and came out in like 2017, but then got shuttered in 2018.
Okay.
It came out at a bad time, let's say. It came out right around the time that Overwatch came out, and then PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite Battle Royale, like just as those games were getting popular. And this was a free-to-play MOBA, just as MOBAs were kind of taking a dive. And it was also exclusive to Xbox and Windows 10, which I don't think helped it back then. And so they've revived it as a paid game. Now it's like a $15, $20 game. and they've added modes to it to make it more
expensive,
to make it easier to understand. No, they've taken out all of the free to play stuff and made it all things that you can earn by playing in game.
I like that,
which is cool. And then all of the content that the team was working on when the game got shuttered in 2018, they finished it. They finished like new maps and characters and they put that into this paid version as well. So really interesting graphical style. It's very cartoony and you have like over 20 characters to choose from, different play styles, of course, like DPS, support, tank, things like that. And I really am liking the gameplay. How it works is you have two sides, and each side has a guardian animal, which is like a huge. One side is like a bird, and the other side is like a lizard or like a snake. And you fight in the middle, and each time you either claim an area of the map or kill an enemy player, your little a meter ticks up, and once you get 100 points in that, your huge monster goes over and attacks the opposing team's monster, and you can help out your monster defeat the enemy monster by hopping in and shooting the enemy monster's weak point. And it's really a pretty fun game. I'm not a huge MOBA player. This is like a combination of gameplay from MOBAs or hero shooters, and the rush mode that they have put into this version is a much shorter play, like 10-minute rounds kind of game. Very different from like in most MOBAs, games can last like 40 minutes to an hour. So you have a very short play session in this, and I think it works well. And it's really interesting to me to see a game that was free to play at one point and shuttered very quickly come back as a paid game and seems to be doing pretty well. They beat their concurrent player record like on the first day that it was out.
nice.
And it's gotten pretty good reception, and the community for the game, which had been playing it on private servers since the game got shuttered, has really come out and supported the game on YouTube and on Twitch. So it's kind of interesting to watch that whole thing happen, how a service game that was shuttered come back and actually seem to do pretty well. Yeah. And that's basically it. I've played around with, I don't know if you're familiar with the Dadish games. Have you ever heard
No.
of Dadish?
No.
Where you are a radish that is a dad to
now I get
little
it.
radish vegetable children.
Yeah, okay.
And this is I would say like a Mario style platformer. It's an indie game. It's a one-person team indie game. And yeah, this person has done like I think 4 entries so far, but then Dadish 3D is about to come out, where the first 3 Dadishes, and there's actually like a daily Dadish game as well. Those are all 2D side-scrolling platformers, and the 3D version is, of course, full-on 3D. It looks like an N64 platformer. So very kind of excited about that. And these it's not, I would say it's not on the level of like a Super Meat Boy, where the idea is the like painfully difficult levels, but it definitely ramps up the difficulty fairly early on. But luckily it's one of those things where you die and you quickly respawn and can try again right away. And the levels are not very long either. Okay. So it doesn't feel completely insurmountable to finish a stage. So yeah. And these are available on Switch, all on I think PC as well, Steam. And they're fun little platformers. So I picked up Dadish 3 because I always start with the third game or fourth game if possible.
Jesus Christ.
And played a little of that. And my daughter and I were going back and forth, like competing to see who can finish each level. It was kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Old school 2-player game.
Old school. I also played the Europa demo on Switch.
You know?
So Europa was in the Indie World Showcase, and it kind of looked like a Breath of the Wild type game. I don't know if you noticed that game with
I
the
kind of had skipped over at that point.
young protagonist flying around amongst like green meadows and ruined cities, things like that. Anyway, there's a demo on Switch. Played a little bit of that. I was actually kind of surprised. I was expecting the game to be more Breath of the Wildy,
Yeah.
but it started to feel more like Eco to me a little bit.
Really?
And the stages are like open, or maybe like Eco, or maybe a little bit of Journey in there as well. Yeah, the stages are open 3D worlds, but there's a limit. You can't explore them fully. Basically, you get kind of pushed into the path that they want you to go on. But traversal is really fun. Like there's a lot of airborne flying that you can do in it.
Airborne
It
flying?
has, yes, it has.
Is it?
I prefer the more ground-based flying.
It has some very light environmental puzzling where you're collecting like 3 shards to unlock like the door to the next area, and like very simple stuff like that. But it looks really good. It runs really well on Switch, and I'm kind of looking forward to the full release of this. It's pretty cool. It's worth playing that demo for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to download that.
Yeah.
I seriously have not played my Switch in so long. I actually fired it up tonight because I remembered we were talking last week about the new Picross game and how cheap it is if you pre-order, if you bought it by a certain date, which I think is 3 days from now.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I got to get on there, and I did do that. I downloaded that just before the show, but I haven't had a chance to play it. But yeah.
I have played some Logi Art Grimoire.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying that quite a bit as well.
Did you solve my puzzle?
I did not. You have to tell me. You're gonna have to tell me how to access your puzzle. But
There's when you're on the main menu.
Yeah.
Like the mode select screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's I forget what they call it, but there's a little option off to the right that brings up all the Kickstarter backer puzzles, and
is it just in there by your name?
What's that?
Is your name in there? Or
Whimsical Phil is in there.
Okay. I will look for that then.
Look for the puzzle by Whimsical Phil.
I will look for that. Yeah.
Dollop of poop, and you'll find it.
I see.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me make a dollop of poop.
No, I played Logi Art Grimoire. I had to wake up early. I mentioned this to you guys on Slack. I had my colonoscopy this week.
Congratulations. Speaking of dollop of poop.
Speaking of a dollop of poop.
How'd that go?
It went fine.
Good.
Fine. The worst part of it was having to wake up at 3 a.m. and drink that prep solution stuff.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Yeah. I was prepared for the worst, and it wasn't that bad.
Good.
Yeah. But I had time that morning, waking up at 3 a.m. to play Logi Art Grimoire while I was drinking that prep, and then play the Europa demo. I finished the Europa demo.
Jesus Christ.
During that ordeal.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. It wasn't an ordeal.
It was a poop shoot riot. Riot!
There you go.
There's our new song.
All right, Greg. You want to tell us about what you've been playing now that I'm done monopolizing the segment?
Yeah. Now that we're over an hour into the show, sure. Somebody else gets to talk.
Gosh. Sorry.
The main thing I'm still playing is Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned last week, I think, that how impressed I am by the music in that game. I mean, the music in all the Pixel remasters is fantastic, but there's something about this one, out of all of them that I've played so far, which is the first 4. The soundtrack in this game is absolutely gorgeous. But the other thing is that I'd only ever played Final Fantasy 3 once before, and that was the DS game. So, and that remake was that was like a 3D remake from the ground up. So, you know, had never actually played the 2D incarnation of Final Fantasy 3 in any real way. And man, I have zero memory of any of the story in this game, and it's there. I'd forgotten. I don't even know how to put it. The story goes places in that game, in a big way, and I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago I was playing that the world that you start on is actually quite small, but it's revealed pretty quickly that obviously that's not the whole world. But when you do get out to the larger world, it's almost like Water World. It's literally an ocean with a couple small islands. Like there's a lot of world changing events that happen in that game that I had forgotten all about. So it's been really cool to re-experience them. It's been great to re-experience the games that I've played a lot before, but you know, I have especially like 1, 4, and 6 pretty much committed to memory. And 2 I've never been a huge fan of, but 3 is, yeah, it's been really great just to re-experience it, and especially because I've forgotten all about the story completely. So yeah, really loving that. The other thing that I did this week is that I had found out I'd found out that there's finally a Virtual Boy emulator available for the 3DS, which is great. I think it's been possible to emulate Virtual Boy games for quite a while now. But kind of going back to what I was saying about the links earlier, I mean, I'm not terribly excited about, I shouldn't say, there are some games I really do want to play on the Virtual Boy, but not a lot. And it's a pretty small catalog. I feel like I know as much as I need to know about it from watching Jeremy Parish's Virtual Boy Works series. I mean, he did a fantastic. Yeah, I mean, he covers every game, and he covers them exhaustively in the way that Jeremy does. But it's always a system that I've wanted to experience. You know, I very little experience with the Virtual Boy. I never ever grabbed one when they were cheap. I was working in retail when they came out. But I mean, it was such a joke when it was released. It really was. I don't know if that was the experience you guys had, because I think you were both working retail at the time too.
I was not.
Oh, you weren't? Okay. Well, I was, and I remember at our store, it was a very small market, obviously, but at our store, I think we had 5 ordered for sale, and we had 1 pre-order. And that guy came in and bought it, and I mean, I think he loved it, and we had one set up on demo, so that was the one that I had tried. Like I played the demo version 2 or 3 times, thought it was cool. I wasn't super interested in paying the money to own one, and I don't think I really had the money to buy one at that point anyway. Yep. And then I was never the type of person that would find out like, oh, these are really cheap, I'm going to go buy one. So I kind of missed out on that. But I've always wanted to at least try the games, but I want to play them in 3D. Because clearly that's, you know, they're 3D games. They're meant to be played that way. Right. And learning that there's an emulator available now on a system that's meant to be played 3D, and it was really easy to get up and running. I've actually been fiddling around a lot with some of those games over the past week. That emulator runs really well. A little bit of crosstalk on some of the games, like that I can't seem to get rid of, especially on, I think Tetris VB was like the big one. But really cool to be playing like what's the Mario game called? Smash or Clash? Mario Clash. Played a fair amount of that. I was playing Wario, obviously.
The Wario game is great.
It's really good. That is the one that I think out of everything that's there, that's the one that I'm going to actually spend some time on. And it's playing Jack Brothers as well. I think it's called Jack Brothers.
Oh yeah.
That Persona spin-off game, which was also cool. And actually, it was a great example of why I'm glad that I can play these in 3D now, because going back to Jeremy Parish's videos, he captured all the footage off of an actual Virtual Boy that had been modded. But of course, when he was doing that, you can only capture either one screen or the other, right?
Right.
And so, watching the Jack Brothers episode, it's just an overhead sort of dungeon crawl.
Right.
And you can see you keep going down floors, so you can see the floor that you're going to go to next sort of in the distance. But I didn't realize how segmented the characters were. Like, that's something that didn't come across in his video, that it looks like all the characters in the game are actually like 3 sprites stacked on top of each other. Like, the head is actually a little bit closer to you than the body, than the feet, and that sort of thing. And it seems like all the enemies are like that too. So like little things like that, that's the type of thing that I'm glad that I can experience it in 3D, just to get that effect. But yeah, the Wario game is fantastic. I'm really excited to sit down and actually play that. So just throwing that out there, that it's available. And again, 99% of that library, it's just a curiosity, but I'm glad I can experience them now. Same with the links. There's like 1 or 2 games on the links that I think I would sit down and actually play in any real way. The rest I just want to be able to turn on and say, oh, that's what that is, and move on. And I can do that in 3D on the Virtual Boy. So that's without having to buy the system or have the cartridges, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I spent my week on as far as Vidya games go.
Very nice. Phil,
what
would you like to share what you've been playing with us?
No, thank you.
No.
I did, of course, pick up Picross Logi Art Grimoire for the Switch. Double dipped on that, so I can play it on the console.
It is just a reskin. It's so amazing. It's so funny how, like, even the scene transitions. I mean, obviously, they're probably not going to change very much, but it just feels like they put different animation over what they had on the other ones, which is fine. But yeah,
I did. I didn't write this down because I only tinkered with it a little bit so far, not enough to really get into it. But I did download, as it is a PS Plus title this month.
Oh,
Dave the Diver.
Dave the motherfucking Diver.
Holy wow. Goodness. Yeah. Which I know you've been talking up for a good long while.
It's a good video game. Yeah.
And it seems pretty fun. All I've done in it so far is I did like the kind of the intro kind of tutorial bits where they show you how to swim around and harpoon fish, and then the little kind of restaurant management sim part of the game.
Yep.
So it's very cute. It seems like it's going to be quite a bit of fun.
It is very cute and also quite a bit of fun. So
I will play more of that, and I will play considerably more of that when the Godzilla DLC is released.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to work, if you're going to need to have played into the game even more, or if it's like a side thing. Who knows?
No idea.
Yeah.
But I look forward to finding out.
Yes, that'll be out next month.
Yes. I did. You were talking about your precious Like a Dragon game that you were playing.
Yeah.
I will have you know that I did finish Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Excellent.
I defeated it over the course of the week at some point. And boy, what a great game.
It really is, right?
My goodness. I love it.
It's great.
Checked my time. It says I put 129 hours into it.
All right.
I finished it. I'm so close to platinuming it. Actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The only things I have left to do, if I want to get a platinum, which I don't know if I do, but there is a kind of at the game's climax, mild spoiler. There's a big tower you go up.
Yeah.
And there's a boss at the top of the big tower.
Yeah.
And
no shocker there.
No. And you can replay the tower. As you know, it's more difficult and then to get another trophy, and then I guess you can do it another time that's even more difficult to get another trophy, and then that will unlock the platinum. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I have heard that I've heard the your second playthrough of the tower is manageable, but I have heard that the final kind of ultimate playthrough is
Brutal.
level up your guys to 99 kind of thing, which I'm just like, ugh.
What level did you finish the game around?
Well, like I said, I did quite a bit of grinding in that battle tower, and in the sewers, there is kind of before you go up into that final tower. I think I may have mentioned this, where they introduce another sewer dungeon, and they pretty much have the characters look to the camera and say, "Oh, a new sewer dungeon opened up. Maybe you should go in there and level up a bit.
Maybe you should do that." I like how
maybe you should go do that.
For
I
all
know
of
the
those
towers right here.
optional dungeons, they tell you pretty much you should go do that thing.
Yeah. Why don't we go do the sewers before this tower that's right here? So, but I did quite a bit of grinding. My by the end, Ichiban was in like probably mid 70s, and all the other people in the party were like probably in the mid 60s or so.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I will warn you right now, CJ.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming you're going to finish this game, yeah?
I will finish this game, yes.
Yeah, it really feels like he will, which is weird for CJ.
I know. I'm going to warn you right now. So you probably listened to me talk about this on the show.
Last
about
week?
the boss at the top of the tower has a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
Attack. Yeah,
I did equip the item that prevents one-hit kill on Ichiban.
Don't worry about that. Get rid of that item.
Okay. Get rid of that item? Okay.
Because that item slot will be better served equipping an item that boosts your stats.
Oh, okay.
As long as Ichiban, if you have him in his hero job.
I do.
Which you should, and you do. He has a technique. He has a spell that you can use that has the same function. It will protect you from an instant kill. So just when he gets to the phase of the fight where he starts pulling out his one punch man attack.
Okay.
Yes, cat. What? One of the cats is walking around with Finn's this slipper in his mouth. Well, her mouth.
Yeah.
Because she killed it. She killed Finn's old slipper. Anyway. What was I talking about? Yakuza?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
One hit kill punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very bad.
Once he starts pulling out that technique, then just activate that spell and you'll have a little protection just in case.
Okay. All right.
So
yeah, I'm loving the game.
Yeah,
I will finish it.
So I did finish it. I loved it. Scoop Joey in the chat says, "Did I cry like a baby when I finished it?" No, I did not cry like a baby. I cried like a man. I cried like a man. I cheered like a man. Yeah. I felt love in my heart for my fellow man like a man. What a great game. Holy cow.
It really is.
It's a game about the power of friendship.
Play this game. You should play this game.
Yeah, I know I should.
I mean, you like Sega.
It is. It's one of those games that's on my list. I just never seem to get around to it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I liked this game so much. I saw Wario64 post this the other day on the social medias that there was an Ichiban figure coming out.
I saw that. Yeah.
And absolutely, oh my gosh, currently unavailable from Amazon. Looks like they must have sold out. But I did place my order for this
nice
$75 Ichiban figure.
Cool.
Because I love that game so much. Oh my God, what? Winter, what? She's showing off this little slipper she killed.
I mean, we can't hear it, so
You can't hear it? It's very loud from my end.
No.
Winter, come over to the mic. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
She's just lying on the floor over there, chewing on it. Anyway, before I dive into Like a Dragon : Infinite Wealth, I did decide to go back and finish up Like a Dragon Gaiden : The Man Who Erased His Name.
Yeah.
Because, it is a shorter game. They say it's apparently like a 20-hour game or something, which
I'm good with that.
For a Yakuza game, that's practically a demo.
Yeah.
So I believe there's only 5 chapters in that game, and I was playing it earlier this afternoon. I just got to chapter 3.
Oh, okay.
So
great.
I'm playing through that.
Now, is the gameplay in that? It's not RPG, right? It's
no, fighting? that is classic Yakuza beat 'em up type.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice having a little break from the RPG stuff in the middle to do a little just more actiony beat 'em up.
Yep.
But I will say, as crazy as this sounds from someone who is very skeptical about the series going to RPG, I kind of miss the RPG.
I liked it. I really like the RPG gameplay.
I
really like it.
Yeah. I'm kind of missing that battle system now.
Yeah.
But yes, I am playing through that. So that's just, it is very much a side story, as the name, well, I was going to say implies, but it doesn't imply. It just says it. It literally says it's a side story.
Yes.
But yes, so I'm enjoying that, but I am kind of like, I just kind of want to
get back to it.
Get into Infinite Wealth, but
you will be able to do that very soon.
But right? I will be, yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Although I did
as well.
I was very excited.
I have Infinite Wealth ready to go.
Oh, it's
I also have I have Gaiden downloaded on my Xbox.
Oh, good.
Game Pass game, so I'm ready to go with that.
I was very excited though. I got to chapter 3 in Gaiden, that you end up in a Yakuza, like a little secret hideout, and inside the secret hideout they have a little side room, and in the little side room they have a little TV, and what's hooked up to the TV but a little Master System.
Yes.
And
well, this is the one that has Daytona 2, the arcade version in there somewhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a Master System, and as you go around town, you can find other Master System games that you can bring back and play.
Nice.
So I was playing a little Penguin Land. I was playing a little Fantasy Zone. Played a little Flicky, which is not as pretty as the Genesis version. Go figure. But yeah, definitely a cute little bonus. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. What do you think about that?
See, I like it.
You better like it, because
I like it a lot.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Scoop Joey in the chat.
I was going to bring this. Yeah, I saw this too. I'm shocked and disappointed that you didn't have this in our news.
I didn't have it in the news. Yeah.
It's big oversight on your part.
Right. Listeners of the Player One podcast, if you have listened to us for a long time, you will know.
And how could you?
You will know that we have spoken very highly of an arcade game by Namco called Newman Athletics.
They will show you the best events.
They will. And it is a track and field style game with a sort of futuristic theme on it. It's all about tapping the buttons very fast. Yeah, getting that technique down.
Yep.
And the events are things such as tossing a missile or stopping a train with your bare hands.
Versus Express.
Yeah. And this game was in the Aladdin's Castle at Yorktown Mall in Lombard, Illinois, very nearby the EGM offices back in
Practically
the
across
late
the street.
90s. Practically across the street. So we would go to the Yorktown Mall food court to eat lunch fairly often. And then the Aladdin's Castle is right in the food court. So then we would eventually work our way to the arcade and play some games. And Newman Athletics was something we played a lot of.
Oh yeah,
back in the day. Well, Newman Athletics is this upcoming week's release for the Arcade Archives series on Switch, PS4, and did they release them on Steam as well?
I think it's just those two.
Just those two?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's coming out, and I will be buying it immediately because it's been so long since I played Newman
I may double
Athletics.
dip on it.
I am ready. You may double dip.
I may buy it for both systems, yeah.
Wow, all right. But yeah, very excited to see that game come out.
Absolutely.
Although I don't know, I don't really have a joystick with big buttons that I can do the whole
I'm sure you have to buy one.
Tap thing on.
Yeah.
So I may have to remedy that. I don't know.
Is there some customizer out there that can build us a Newman Athletics controller?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm very excited because I've wanted to play that game again for a long time.
I think the last time, because this is not a game, it's a Namco game, but it is not a Namco game that they port.
Oh, yeah, it's not one that anybody cares about.
Right. And I believe the last time, and perhaps the only time prior to this that it got a home port, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it came out for the Wii Virtual Console, but only in Japan.
That is correct. Yeah.
And I don't think it has been released outside of that.
You're right. You are correct. Yeah.
Okay. Did you know there's a sequel?
I did know that there's a sequel. Yeah.
I figured you would know there was a sequel.
I did.
Have you ever played it?
No, I've never played it.
No, neither have I.
But I will also be buying that if that comes out on Arcade Archives.
Yeah.
I'll buy that too.
Mock Breakers is the sequel, but I've never played that.
Me neither.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never played either of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now
I've heard about the first game so many times from you two that I feel like
Athletics so damn good.
Now's your chance.
Anyway. I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweet, tweet.
All right. What?
That was for you, Greg.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Grim Grinning Guy, who asks, when Phil went to Disneyland a few weeks ago, where did he stay? And if it was off-site, how was the whole weirdo situation?
Weirdo situation?
I don't know what that means.
How was the weirdo situation?
Like, were there a bunch of weirdos around?
Yeah. I mean,
just me, I'm afraid. I stayed at the there is an island that you can swim to on the park, and you're not supposed to. I believe it's Tom Sawyer Island.
Oh, right.
You sneak over to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I crashed, evading park security.
There you go.
So, no, I stayed at the Howard Johnson's, the Hojo, I believe, a Wyndham, perhaps. It's literally across the street from the park. It's like a 10-minute walk from the hotel to the park's front gate.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
And how was the weirdo situation?
I didn't notice any weirdos.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Maybe
maybe I
that
just got
means you
lucky.
were the weirdo.
Well, I mean, that's
That is what that means.
yeah. If you don't notice the weirdos. And now, granted, when I am out in public, I do like to rant and rave like a lunatic to keep people from trying to talk to me. So perhaps that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But no, it was very nice. They were renovating the hotel, and I paid a little extra. I think like an extra $20 a night. They said, we have you in this room, but if you want to spend like an extra $20 a night, we can put you into one of the new renovated rooms. And I said, let's do that.
Yeah.
And it was very nice.
Good.
Not that I would, I was not like I was hanging out in the room. I slept in the room, and then,
Right.
you spend most of the time in the park, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes,
That's why
I was at the Hojo right across the street.
For the couple times I've gone to Disney World, we just go to the cheapest hotel.
Yeah.
We stay on the resort, but
Okay.
just the I forget what they're called, All-Star, the All-Star Resort, which is just like, it's like a motel.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of glitz and glamour, but why would you need it? Because you go back there to sleep and get up and go back into the parks.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias 1 Star V2, who says, what's your favorite console game expansion, specifically before 8th gen, always updated games? Myself, BioShock 2 Minerva's Den was amazing and quite cheap. Special shout out to the Halo 2 multiplayer expansion disc, giving everyone everyone who lands new maps. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Left Behind.
Left Behind.
Last
Yeah,
of
that's
Us
a
Left
great,
Behind.
that might be mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with either of those. I don't have a real favorite. I'd say Minerva's Den, probably.
Yeah.
I never
Can't think of
played
anything
Minerva's
else off
Den.
the top of my head.
I have to go back and play BioShock 2. I don't think I gave it a fair shake.
BioShock 2 was a good
back,
time.
Back in the day. So, and I do have the, I think I have it via the BioShock remastered thing that came out on PS4.
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
So, yeah, I should go play that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias. It's like whatevs, who says, did you all have a favorite game developer or favorite game studio?
I'm Sega. No, it's funny because I've been doing, and actually the video that I released a couple weeks ago, or last week, a little over a week ago, about the Genesis. I'm doing a follow-up for my YouTube channel about my memories on Super Nintendo, and going back and playing a lot of Super Nintendo games just to sort of jog my memory and pick some of the favorites. Boy, if a game said Capcom or Konami on it, I was at least trying that game.
Well,
I didn't care what it was about.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the rule during 8 and 16-bit days, where Capcom and Konami were the were the ones to play.
When they started, I mean, there were Capcom games on the Genesis right from the start, but they were ported by Sega.
Right.
But when Capcom and Konami came to the Genesis too, like that was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think not just for me.
Oh no.
But yeah, like back then, if you want to take out sort of the manufacturers, because I mean, Nintendo also is on that list. Anything Nintendo released, I would at least be interested in, because you knew it was going to be, you assumed it would be a certain level of quality. But third party wise, yeah, since back in the NES days, if it said Capcom or Konami on it, or Ultra Games,
right,
I was definitely going to at least rent it, if not buy it. So yeah.
Totally.
Lots of favorites since then.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'll buy almost anything Nintendo puts out.
Yeah.
But Probably Insomniac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a good
more
one.
recently, they're definitely one that I'm all about
Yeah.
too. I'm
Like
thinking
Naughty
way
Dog.
back in the day.
Yeah, Naughty Dog as well. Like even back in the
Wait,
day.
when's the last time Naughty Dog put out a game
Last of Us Part 2.
or an original game? Oh, Last of Us Part 2. Sorry,
There you go.
Last of Us
you were
Part
right the
2.
first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked Jack 2. I like Jack and Daxter, and Jack 2 is good.
You're weird.
Yeah. What can I say? I enjoyed that game. I finished that game. Yeah, but Insomniac probably ranks right up there. They've only done 1 or 2 bad games. And Sunset Overdrive is a all-timer great game, even though nobody's played it.
I had people bug me to play that for so long.
Oh, it's a good game. And you can see the seeds of the combat that ended up in Spider-Man in Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, it's a good game. Phil, did you answer this one too?
I mean, I was pointing out, like, the Capcom and Konami as well.
Yeah.
I don't always click with all of their games, but a platinum game will always get my attention. Certainly. I know you guys don't agree, but I do enjoy a good number of the platinum games.
By the way, that makes me think, did you try the Stellar Blade demo yet?
I did not.
No? Okay.
Are you going to play that game?
I can't imagine I will.
No?
Okay.
I don't want to have to explain myself if anyone else walks into the room.
What do you
while
mean?
I'm playing.
What are you trying to say?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? Are we done?
You tell me.
We're done.
Okay.
Alrighty, and then as our show for this week, thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on various social media networks, but definitely X and Threads. If you would like to check out our website, you can go to player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD, stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find what else? Generation 16 episodes as they happen. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about in this episode. And hey, there's a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode and share your Sonic Pancakes fan fiction or art creation with us.
So afraid
and
to see
our
how this goes.
Other listeners. You just type, and I have done this. Do the prompt for please write me a 100-word story about Sonic the Hedgehog's love of pancakes, and you'll get something pretty good. But you may want to add to that prompt as well to make it unique.
Oh boy.
Or more pornographic.
Oh, for crying out loud.
What?
If you would like to subscribe. I can't imagine you would, but if you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch televisions. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30, a specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Maybe next time I go to Disneyland, I'll stay in a nicer hotel.
Why would you want to do weirdos? That,
the Hojo was actually quite lovely. I have no complaints about the Howard Johnsons across the street from Disneyland. I also have no plans to go back to Disneyland because as much as I enjoyed it, goodness gracious, It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, your Patreon funds do go to our show. It keeps us streaming and all those little costs that we have that come with running a podcast that CJ maintains. So
Yeah.
we would appreciate it. And I'll tell you what, friendos, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
there it is. You gain special access to a weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yeah.
Dolph, we haveth a gameth this eve.
Well, Phil, I am sad to report
Oh my goodness.
that we do have a game this week.
The correct answer was verily.
So
First of all.
you'll have to stay on a little longer
Okay.
and play
We
this
do.
game with us. Yes, we have an AI music quiz.
Oh. Is this
I
like
think I'm going to
CPU
bed.
Bach? Is this based on the hit 3DO game CPU Bach?
Better than that.
Unlikely.
CPU Bach was terrible.
The CPU Bach predicted
I
the
bought that
rise
for
of
$5.
AI.
I did buy that for $5. I owned it for the 3DO.
Of course you did. You are a
'Cause-
man of culture
Exactly. And
and sophistication,
it was generally pretty terrible.
says
Stuff
you.
generated. Yeah. But
So what is this? What is this AI music game?
So yeah, basically there's a new AI service that will allow you to create free 30-second clips from text prompts. So we'll have to guess the name of a game that the song is referencing or evoking. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't know
Okay.
if these are
Sounds like a
lyrics that we'll have
nightmare.
to-
Who sent this in?
Our good friend Mike.
Mike.
Oh,
Yeah.
how lovely. Thank you,
Figured that.
Mike.
Yes.
Oh, wait a second. I'm contractually obligated to say something nice about this. Wow, Mike sent it in? I can't wait. He always sends in the best
Cool.
quizzes.
Well, it could be pretty fun. We a video game music quiz, but AI writing the songs. Yeah, it'll be. It's gonna be a can't miss.
I sounded less impressed.
No, I think it'll be fun.
We'll see
We'll
what
just have
happens.
to-
Like
we'll have
that's
to
a-
see what
your
happens.
kid. It's a special night. We can go to dinner anywhere we want. Where do you want to go? And they say McDonald's. It's like, oh, yay.
Hey,
No,
right.
yeah.
For
except
my daughter, it's Burger King.
Ugh.
Ew.
She likes Burger King, and all she
Goodness
gets
gracious.
is a plain Whopper,
ugh.
just bun and meat.
So
Okay.
why do you need to go to Burger King?
I don't
You can go
know.
anywhere.
I know.
Kids are weird.
True.
You got to do something with that weirdo situation at your house.
Nah.
Tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to Patreon? Why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding,
That's true.
web series by North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
hello, Satan.
Hey, how you doing?
It's been a week. I was gonna say it's been a while, but it hasn't really. It's been a week.
It hasn't. No,
Yeah.
I like. I enjoy these weekly check-ins.
Yeah, me too.
They're
Yeah.
getting closer and closer
Ugh.
to the time when we get to hang out together a lot.
Fraternity.
Well, as long as you can put up with me, let me tell you.
Well, it's better than Phil.
Understandably, that guy is a creep.
The worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Handsome though.
I can't deny that.
Who could?
As much as I want to,
I know.
I can't.
Yep.
you get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a series of vlog videos, video vlog, video logs, vlogs,
Video vlog logs.
video vlog logs.
Yep.
Where I talk about everything that I've been working on, the production of the different videos, all kinds of cool stuff. Hey, this week I was talking about the interviews that I've conducted and or lined up for the upcoming episode of Generation 16.
Ooh.
Also, something else, I've been sticking to a monthly release schedule for videos on the YouTube channel, and it seems to be going well. People seem to really like the latest one, which is all about my memories of owning and playing the Genesis back in the early 90s. Go check that out if you get a chance. But yeah, please consider supporting the show.
Cool.
Absolutely. You definitely should. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Oh, you got it, buddy. And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darned one of you. As always, take care of yourself, your loved one, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. My gosh. And I hope, and CJ hopes, and Greg hopes, we all hopes, to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.